Hello students, now we'll discuss one more important topic in 17th group elements, interhalogen compounds. Okay, last video we discussed about what are interhalogen compound, how they are formed. Okay, again we'll discuss about the interhalogen compound. Okay, here A2 is the halogen. Okay, here X2 also halogen. One halogen reacts with another halogen, forms, okay, here forms AX type interhalogens, okay, or AX3 type interhalogens, AX5 type interhalogens, okay, and AX7 type interhalogens. That means we have four types of interhalogens. We have four types of interhalogens. Here X should be more electronegative than A. This is the electronegativity. What is the electronegativity? X should be more electronegative than A. That means X is equal to here. Here I wanted to discuss about the A first. A is equal. A may be chlorine, it may be bromine, or it may be iodine. Okay, X may be, it may be fluorine, it may be chlorine, it may be bromine. Okay, we don't have the I as X, we don't here I acts as, never acts as X, and here F never acts as A. And here A is the central atom. Here A is the central atom. Central halogen atom. It is a substituent halogen atom. Remember this one. It is useful for the explanation of the structure of interhalogen compound. Here in continuation we discuss structure also. Okay, here in X type interhalogens, okay, here A oxidation number is +1. Here A oxidation number is +3. Here A oxidation number is +5. Here A oxidation number is +7. That means interhalogen compound forms only chlorine, bromine, iodine. Fluorine never shows +1 and +3, +4, +7 oxidation state. Okay, here we'll see the example for the AX type interhalogens and here AX7 type interhalogens, AX5 type AX type interhalogens. Chlorine reacts with fluorine, forms chlorine fluoride. Chlorine fluoride. Here chlorine is the central atom A, fluorine is the X. Chlorine fluoride. Chlorine fluoride. We don't have the chlorine bromide. Okay, bromine fluoride. Bromine chloride. Here iodine fluoride. Iodine chloride. Iodine bromide. Iodine bromide. Okay, here AX3 type chlorine fluoride. Okay, here bromine chloride, bromine fluoride. These are the important examples. Okay, in continuation, next chlorine pentafluoride, bromine pentafluoride, iodine pentachloride. Iodine pentafluoride also is there but unstable. Okay, ICl5, iodine pentachloride, bromine pentachloride, chlorine pentafluoride. And here we have only one important AX7 type interhalogen is IF7, iodine heptafluoride. Okay, here AX5 type, AX3 type, AX type. Okay, here how many are there? How many are there here? 6. ClF chlorine fluoride, bromine fluoride, bromine chloride, iodine fluoride, iodine chloride. This is iodine chloride. Okay, iodine bromide, chlorine fluoride, bromine chloride, bromine fluoride, chlorine fluoride, bromine fluoride, iodine chloride. Actually 11 interhalogens compounds are important. 11 interhalogen compounds are important means this is the unstable. Okay, this is the unstable. Here how many are there? 6. Here only 5. Iodine fluoride is also unstable. These two are the unstable. These two are unstable. Star indication unstable. Remaining all are stable. Remaining all, okay, 11 See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 interhalogen compounds are more and more stable. More and more stable. And here, one more important, okay, here, one more important here, it should be more electronegative than A. A always acts as a central atom. A always acts as a central atom. In chlorine fluoride, chlorine is the central atom. In chlorine trifluoride, chlorine is the central atom. Chlorine pentafluoride, chlorine is the central atom. Iodine heptafluoride, iodine is the central atom. Central atom. And we'll see the how we prepare these interhalogen compound. How we will prepare these interhalogen compound? Okay, by using two methods, from the halogens and from the interhalogens. Okay, by using two methods, we prepare the interhalogens. For example, chlorine is there. Chlorine reacts with fluorine at nearly 373 Kelvin temperature to 473 Kelvin temperature. Chlorine reacts with fluorine and forms 2ClF, chlorine fluoride. Okay, suppose bromine reacts with chlorine. Okay, 523 Kelvin temperature. Okay, forms 2BrCl. Okay, here iodine is reacts with chlorine. Okay, same under same temperature, forms ICl. Okay, it is 1:1 ratio. When chlorine and fluorine reacts with each other or any other, okay, reacts with each other, forms, okay, AX type interhalogens when these are reacts with 1:1 ratio. Okay, in 1:3 ratio, suppose for example chlorine and fluorine, 3 moles of fluorine, 1:3 ratio forms 2ClF3, chlorine trifluoride at 473 Kelvin only. Okay, here for example, bromine, you take bromine and fluorine, 1:5 ratio, 1:5 ratio at 535 Kelvin temperature forms 2BrF5, bromine pentafluoride, bromine pentafluoride. Okay, here suppose for example iodine, take iodine reacts with fluorine, 7 moles, 1:7 ratio at nearly 600 Kelvin temperature forms iodine heptafluoride. That means, okay, one halogen reacts with another halogen which has more electronegative. Okay, conditions 373 Kelvin to 600 Kelvin. When 1:1 ratio involves in 1:1 ratio forms AX type interhalogens. 1:3 ratio forms AX3 type interhalogens. 1:5 ratio forms AX5 type interhalogens. 1:7 ratio forms AX7 type interhalogen compounds. These are the important preparative methods of interhalogens from the halogens. Okay, then in continuation we'll see the preparation of interhalogens from the lower interhalogens. Higher interhalogens will prepare from lower interhalogens. That means AX3 type interhalogens prepared from AX type interhalogens, AX5 type interhalogens prepared from AX3 type, and AX7 type interhalogens prepared from AX5 type and AX7 type interhalogens. Okay, here we'll see second preparation from interhalogens. Okay, here we have the AX3 type, AX5 type and AX7 type. AX3 type prepared from, okay, here AX3 type prepared from AX type. AX5 type prepared from AX3 type and AX type. AX7 type interhalogens prepared from AX5 type, AX3 type and here AX type. Okay, AX3 prepared from AX type, AX5 prepared from AX3 type and AX type, AX7 type prepared from AX5 type, AX3 type and AX type. We'll see in continuation those preparative methods. Okay, those preparative methods. Okay, here First we'll see the AX3 type. How we'll prepare AX3 type? AX reacts with X2, forms at nearly 373 Kelvin temperature to 523 Kelvin temperature. Okay, this is the normal temperature for the preparation of these interhalogens. We can't prepare by using this method AX type interhalogens. Okay, AX reacts with X2 and forms AX3 type interhalogens. AX3 finish. Okay, an example for AX3, ClF3, BrCl3, BrF3, like that. Okay, second one, AX5 type. First, AX3 reacts with X2, same conditions, under the any inert solvent, forms AX5 type. Example for AX5 type, BrCl5, BrF5, ICl5, ClF5. These are the example for AX5 type. Okay, AX also reacts with 2 moles of X2, 2 moles of X2, and will prepare AX5 type interhalogens. These are the preparative methods for AX5 type interhalogen. This is the preparative method for AX3 type interhalogens. Okay, in continuation, AX7 type. AX5 reacts with the halogen under same condition, will get AX7 type. Example for this AX7 type, IF7. IF7. Okay, AX3 reacts with 2 moles of halogen and forms AX7 type interhalogens. Okay, AX reacts with 3 moles of halogen under same conditions, forms AX7 type interhalogens. Okay, and we get here IF7. Here we get IF7. Okay, these are the simple preparative methods of interhalogens. Interhalogens are prepared by using 2 methods. One is interhalogen prepared from the 2 halogens, and one more is interhalogens. Higher interhalogens are prepared from lower interhalogens, like AX3 prepared from AX type, AX5 prepared from AX and AX3, AX7 prepared from AX5, AX3, AX type interhalogen compounds. This is about the preparation of interhalogen compounds. And chemical properties of interhalogens, chemical and physical properties of interhalogen compounds. Chemical properties and physical properties. Okay, except chlorine fluoride, remaining all interhalogen compounds are solids. Chlorine fluoride only gas. And here all interhalogen compounds are completely soluble in water. Okay, halogens completely soluble in water na. So interhalogen compounds also completely soluble in water. And all interhalogen compounds are diamagnetic substances. Okay, chlorine atom, fluorine atom, all are the paramagnetic due to the presence of lone electron in outermost orbital of an halogen atom. All those are the paramagnetic elements. Okay, here all interhalogen para mixing na, so we'll get a dia. Okay, all interhalogen compounds are diamagnetic substances, and all these exhibit the different colors. All these are the odorless compounds, All these are acts as a halogenating agent. Suppose for example, chlorine trifluoride, okay, bromine trifluoride, bromine pentafluoride acts as a fluorinating agent. Okay, bromine trichloride acts as a chlorinating agent, and iodine bromide, like that. All those are acts as a brominating agents. Okay, in continuation we'll see the important properties of this one. Okay, here okay, here iodine, suppose trichloride is there, it dissolved in a water. Okay, here forms iodide ion and it forms 3Cl minus ions, dissociates like this. Suppose for example, okay, here one more type of dissociation is there here. ICl along with the 2Cl minus, ICl plus and 2Cl minus. Okay, we'll get the cation and anion. Here we'll get the cation and anion. So, okay, when it dissolved in a water, it exhibits it dissociates as a anions. So, okay, here interhalogen compound solution, aqueous solution. Okay, it is a good electrical conductor. Electrical conductor. And all these interhalogen compounds are used as non-aqueous solvents. Non-aqueous solvents. All these are used as non-aqueous solvents. That means, okay, substance for the water. For example, in so many compounds we are using water as a solvent. If water is not available, we use the interhalogen compounds as a solvent. That we called as a non-aqueous solvent. All these are used as a fluorinating agent. Suppose bromine trifluoride is there, or chlorine trifluoride reacts with uranium. What happen? We get uranium hexafluoride. Uranium hexafluoride. That means this fluorine and chlorine acts as fluorinating agents. Fluorinating agents. These are acts as a fluorinating agents. Here these are acts as a fluorinating agents. Okay, here these are the important properties of interhalogen compounds. In continuation, we'll see the structure of interhalogen compounds. First, we'll see the AX type interhalogens. Example for AX type interhalogens, I am taking chlorine fluoride. What is the name of this one? Chlorine fluoride. Chlorine fluoride. Structure means hybridization, number of lone pairs, geometry. Okay, geometry we'll discuss here. AX type interhalogen, central atom is chlorine. Okay, X as a chlorine fluoride. Okay, chlorine, okay, ground state, outermost electronic configuration. Chlorine, ground state, outermost electronic configuration. What is that? Okay, outermost chlorine atomic number 17. Okay, last electron, outermost electronic configuration is 3s2, 3p5, 3d0. 3s2, 3p5, 3d0. 3s2 means here 2 electrons, 3p5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3d0. Okay, here chlorine reacts with how many fluorines? Only one fluorine. That means, okay, we need one lone electron outermost of the chlorine. So this electron reacts with fluorine and forms chlorine fluoride molecule. And here, how many lone pairs are there? 3 lone pairs. 1, 2, 3. 3 lone pairs. When the formation of chlorine fluoride, how many orbitals are involved here? 1 s orbital and here 3 p orbitals. That means sp3 hybridization. What is the hybridization? sp3 hybridization. 3 lone pairs. How many bond pairs? Only one bond, na? So 1 bond pair, 3 bond lone pairs. Hybridization is sp3. sp3 hybridization, 3 lone pairs. sp3 hybridization, 3 lone pairs. Chlorine, here fluorine. 3 lone pairs means here chlorine has 3 lone pairs. 1, 2, 3 lone pairs. Which shape? This is the geometry. Geometry of chlorine fluoride, bromine fluoride, iodine chloride. Okay, what is this one? It is a linear shape. This is the geometry of, okay, here chlorine fluoride. Okay, and AX type interhalogen compound. Okay, what is the hybridization of A here? sp3 hybridization. How many bond pairs? One bond pair. And here how many lone pairs? Okay, three lone pairs. sp3, actually sp3 hybridization means tetrahedral structure. Okay, due to the repulsive forces between lone pairs and bond pairs, according to the VSEPR theory. VSEPR theory. What is the VSEPR theory? Valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. Due to that, the shape of that particular molecule, geometry of that particular molecule changed. Okay, tetrahedral to linear shape. Tetrahedral to linear shape. This is about the structure of AX type interhalogens. Structure of AX type interhalogens. Okay, in continuation, we'll see the structure of AX3 type interhalogens. AX3 type interhalogens. Example for AX3 type interhalogens. Here again I am taking ClF3, chlorine trifluoride. What is the name of this one? Chlorine trifluoride. Okay, here chlorine ground state, outermost electronic configuration. What is that? Okay, here 3s2, 3p5, 3d0. Here how many lone electrons? How many electrons? 2. Here 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3d0. Okay now. Chlorine reacts with how many fluorines here? 3 fluorines. Chlorine reacts with 3 fluorines. That means we require 3 lone electrons in outermost. 3 lone electrons in outermost. How many lone electrons are there here? Only 1 lone electron is there. Okay, one of the electron get excited from 3p orbital to 3d orbital. 3d orbital. What you will get after the excitation of first electrons? We will get here chlorine first excited state outermost electronic configuration. We will get the first excited state. What is that first excited state electronic configuration? 3s2, 3p4, 3d1. 3d1. And here, okay, here 2 electrons. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 1 electron. Okay, here 1 electron. How many lone electrons are there now? 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 lone electrons. Finish it now. Okay, here for the formation of ClF3, how many orbitals are involved? 1 s orbital, 3 p orbital, 1 d orbital. What is the shape? What is the hybridization? sp3d hybridization. And how many bond pairs? 1, 2, 3 bond pairs. Bond pairs. How many bond pairs? 3 bond pairs. How many lone pairs? 1, 2 lone pairs. What is the hybridization? sp3d. sp3d hybridization, two lone pairs. Actually, sp3 hybridization is present in the molecule. It should exhibit trigonal bipyramidal geometry or shape. But here, due to the presence of two lone pair electrons, it exhibits slightly bent T shape, or simply we call it as T shape. Slightly it exhibits the T shape. Okay, here we'll see the structure of T shape. Okay, here Cl and here fluorine, fluorine and here fluorine. This is the T shape. Here one lone pair of electron, here another lone pair of electron. This is about the T shape. Actual structure is trigonal bipyramidal. Instead of trigonal bipyramidal, it has T shape. Why? Okay, due to the repulsive forces between bond pairs and lone pairs according to the VSEPR theory. BRF3 also same. Bromine trifluoride also same. Okay, bromine trifluoride, iodine trichloride, all are having the same structure, same type of shape. Okay, this is about the AX3 type interhalogens. Then in continuation, we'll see the AX5 type interhalogens, structure of AX5 type interhalogens. Example for AX5. Okay, here I am taking ClF5, BrF5, IF5. All those are the best example, but for our convenience, I am taking only ClF5. Chlorine reacts with fluorine. How many fluorines here? 5 fluorines. That means we need 5 lone electrons in outermost. We'll see. Chlorine, ground state, outermost, electronic configuration. What is that? 3s2. Okay, here 3p5, 3d0. 3s2 means here 2 electrons. 3p5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3d0. Okay, here how many lone electrons are there? Only one lone electron. We require how many lone electrons? 5 lone electrons for the formation of the ClF5. Okay, in fast excited state, that means one of the 3p electron excited into 3d orbital, then we'll have 3 lone electrons. Okay, how many required? Again, 2 more required. That means one more, okay, electron get excited from 3p orbital to d orbital. Okay, it's the second electron. This is called second excited state. Here I am writing chlorine, second excited state, outermost electronic configuration. What is that? 3s2, 3p3, 3d2. Here 2 electrons, here 3 electrons, 1, 2, 3. Here 2 electrons, 1, 2. Okay, here fluorine, here fluorine, here fluorine, here fluorine, here fluorine. 5 fluorines reacts with 5 lone electrons. Okay, during the formation of pentafluoride, how many orbitals are involved? 1 s orbital, 3 p orbital and 2 d orbital. What is the hybridization? Hybridization is sp3d2 hybridization. How many bond pairs? 5 bond pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bond pairs. How many lone pairs? Only 1 lone pair. one lone pair, 5 bond pairs. Okay na? And here, according to the VSEPR theory, okay, sp3d2 hybridization means octahedral structure. Should exhibit the octahedral structure. Due to the repulsive forces between 5 bond pairs and lone pairs, according to the VSEPR theory, instead of octahedral structure, it exhibits square pyramid geometry. Square pyramid. Okay, here square means square planar. This is the square planar. Here you take chlorine or bromine, any other. Okay, here fluorine. Here downside, one fluorine. Okay, here one lone pair of electron. This we called as square pyramid shape. Actual shape is octahedral. Instead of octahedral, due to the presence of this one lone pair, it exhibits square pyramid shape. This is about the structure of, okay, here AX5 type interhalogen compounds. Okay, then in continuation we'll see the one more AX7 type interhalogens. Example for AX7 type interhalogens. What is the example? IF7, iodine heptafluoride. AX7 type interhalogens. Example for this IF7. What is that? Iodine heptafluoride. Okay, here I am taking iodine, ground state, outermost electronic configuration. Okay, chlorine never formed the heptafluoride. Why? Chlorine is a small atom. It never give the space to the 7 fluorine atoms. That's why it formed but unstable. Iodine heptafluoride is stable. Iodine is a large molecule compared to the fluorine. It easily accommodates 7 fluorine. It easily gives the space to the 7 fluorine atoms. Okay, here ground state electronic configuration of iodine. Chlorine 3s2 3p5 3d0. Bromine 4s2 4p5 4d0. Iodine 5s2 5p5 5d0. Okay, 5s2 means 2 lone electrons. 5p5 means 1 2 3 4 5 5d0. And here, how many lone electrons are there? We have only one lone electron in outermost orbital of the iodine. We require 7 lone electrons. So, first electron get excited. We have 3. Second electron get excited. We have 5. Third electron get excited. We have 7. That means IF7 formed, okay, in third excited state of iodine. Okay, here iodine, third excited state, outermost electronic configuration. What is that? 5s1, 5p3, 5d3. Okay, here 1 lone electron. Here 1, 2, 3 lone electrons. 1, 2, 3 lone electrons. 7 lone electrons are there now. So fluorine, 7 fluorines. Okay, during the formation of IF7, how many orbitals are involved here? One is 3p, 3d, sp3, d3 hybridization. What is the hybridization? sp3, d3 hybridization. No lone pairs. How many bond pairs? 7 bond pairs. 7 bond pairs. No lone pairs. 7 bond pairs. Okay, geometry. Pentagonal bipyramidal. Pentagonal bipyramidal. Okay, see the shape of that one. Okay, here iodine, fluorine, 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 fluorine. Here fluorine, here fluorine. 6 over na. This is the octahedral structure. Here one more fluorine is present. This is we call as pentagonal bipyramidal structure. Shape of IF7. Pentagonal bipyramidal structure. Hybridization is sp3b3 hybridization. This is about the structure of AX7 type interhalogen compounds. Okay, this is about the preparation, properties, examples and structure, geometry of interhalogen compounds. Okay, this is about the interhalogen compounds. How many types of interhalogens are there? Interhalogen compounds are there. Okay, here 4 types of interhalogen compounds are there. What are those? AX type, AX3 type, AX5 type and AX7 type. And here in AX type, okay, A oxidation state is +1. AX3 type, A oxidation state is +3. AX5 type, A oxidation state is +5. AX7, A oxidation state is +7. These are the different oxidation states of A in different interhalogen compounds. This is about the interhalogen compounds. Okay, in continuation we'll discuss one more topic. Thank you.